DreamWorks is amazing the bad guys. It's the Star Fox movie Illumination probably wants to make, if you imagine it's in space. And at the time, I thought that this was the start of a turning point for DreamWorks. Like, after this point, with maybe the one blip that was Kung Fu Panda 4, we've had the likes of Puss in Boots 2, The Wild Robot, and then Bad Guys 2 was also pretty great. Very much a massive breath of fresh air after the likes of the Boss Baby Trolls era of DreamWorks, where it sort of felt like they had accepted that they were never going to hit the greatnesses of Pixar, and so instead just went for mindless kid fodder. Yet this movie shows that they can still do great things, as did what followed in its wake. Or at least until we got the news that all of their in-house animation studios are gonna be axed and they're moving on to an Illumination-style outsourcing model. Great. But with this movie being kind of the last cemented bastion of this version of Disney, we can enjoy it for what it is. And so we begin with the last innovative DreamWorks title card before the whole look at all of our brands era has started. It's no reinventing the wheel. We've seen this poor Fisher boy attacked several times at this point, but I do prefer the simplicity of it to what we currently have heading up DreamWorks movies. Into the movie itself, and from the opening shot, the movie's confident in what it's actually going for. It's a wolf and a snake talking in an American diner, so just deal with it. The two guys sat in a diner ahead of doing a job is a classic trope of crime movies, so it's a great place to start stylistically. If people weren't already settled enough with the age-old trope of animals in place of humans, the now $2 billion Zootropolis franchise will certainly have settled that in for good. It's kind of an easy win for box office success, isn't it? Again, why Illumination's probably eyeing up Star Fox right now. And if you put in some genuine animation highlights, like recreating the crossed arms snake look from the age-old Disney and Robin Hood, you could also have some artistic integrity in there too. But at least in this world, not only is it more of animals coexisting with humans as their thing, but it would seem that predators still be predatoring, as this movie genuinely opens up with a conversation about eating guinea pigs.
A little cute for my taste.
We can also see that this animation is immediately going to be something different. It's now becoming the norm of either having movies evoke the Spiderverse style, or editing that's kind of got some flair in the animation being compared to it. But my view on the animation in this movie is that it's kind of completely its own thing. I have not seen another movie that looks like this visually, except for the sequel, of course. The smooth textures and frame rate combined with the photorealistic lighting, it just has its own flavor entirely, even if it's maybe inspired and influenced by Spiderverse. And you can even get that just from this first scene. And you've also got the dialogue being unusually naturalistic for an animated movie featuring anthropomorphic animals.
Get it all out now. Okay.
And then the first great reveal of all the people huddled in the corner.
Stick me with the bill. Again, it is my birthday.
It's a funny reveal, whilst also establishing their status in this world. Not to mention what kind of characters they are, as despite being criminals, they do still pay the bill.
We're just gonna leave the money right here.
Immediately, we know that they are more complicated than just criminals with no values at all. They do then immediately just stroll in and rob a bank though, so clearly they're still very much the bad guys indicated in the title. But they've established, where they are along the line.
Don't mind us, just robbing this place.
And then the action starts, and man, this animation's just so crisp. I was a fan of this movie immediately. The cool car that actually earns its place as a piece of merchandise, having the lighting reflect off of its surface, the cel-animated dust clouds it creates, the sound design also weirdly foreshadows the DreamWorks movies that followed this with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish at this point.
Big bad wolf. I am the villain in every story.
Not wrong. Literally the next movie. It's also just a further showcase of the wit and sharpness of the dialogue in this movie too.
Serpentine, say crack a machine, imagine Houdini but with no arms.
And unlike the first Despicable Me movie, they do actually have the police to contend with as well. And it soon becomes clear how each animal fits their role within the gang. Case in point, the web-savvy character with 8 arms being the speed-typing hacker character.
In-house hacker or pocket search engine or...
And yes, she has been a tad overused for voice roles, especially at this point, but Awkwafina in this case actually works really well here. I'll take her over another Chris Pratt insert at least. Or hey, at least we're not going to see Richard Ayoade pop up in another movie. Oh, wouldn't that just be terrible? Ever-present and British. destined to be evil. I also like how this "here's the team" trope usually arrives like half an hour into a heist movie, but here it's used in the opening introduction.
Is Mr. Shark, master of disguise.
It's one of the oldest tropes in the book, but it's just done so well here. If anything, when you're doing essentially a crime thriller with animals, you need these tropes to signpost the concept from the get-go, which they do expertly here. Likewise, the bombastic comic book action.
He's fearless. Who am I kidding? He's crazy.
Because for those of you who don't know, this is based on a series of graphic novels. As always, I'll throw in my hat to argue that DreamWorks are particularly strong when they're adapting contemporary kids' literature. It's just something they do a lot and so well, right back to Shrek, yet no one seems to really acknowledge it like that. Also notice that with both The Bad Guys and The Wild Robot, they've invested in pre-existing franchises with multiple installments. Considering they've now announced The Wild Robot 2, I highly doubt these choices were a coincidence. But hey, as long as they keep making movies this good with them, how can I really complain? And we also quickly get the thematic arc for this movie as well, as the opening narration gets into why they're a criminal gang. That being that people were scared of them anyway, considering they're an ensemble of animals people are traditionally scared of.
But these are the cards we've been dealt, so we might as well play them.
And so, we're gonna be seeing a story of people navigating the world based on how society treats them. Strong story theming tick, strong character dynamics tick, confidently styled animation, double tick. All this storytelling done whilst also literally being in motion. It doesn't feel like we've stopped to have these introductions at all. And as the chase continues as well, it comfortably rides that line between three-dimensional action sequence and cartoon slapstick. The action is thrilling, yet you still have bits like the police chief running on the outside of the car. Also, a car crash involving 10 police cars that somehow doesn't feel super traumatic. It's fun because it's a cartoon.
We may be bad, but we're so good at it.
This is also why you get an actor like Sam Rockwell to voice your lead. It's not easy to absolutely nail a smooth talking wolf criminal who speaks with the conviction of a real person, but he does it. We're then introduced to their secret lair full of all of their looted stuff, with the completion of the opening banter arc of it being Snake's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Seriously?
Snake.
It's been a fun running gag as each character got introduced, but it also does a lot more in getting us on board with the dysfunctional family dynamic that they've given these characters.
But out of all the people in the world, I hate you guys the least.
No better encapsulated than their fridge of family photos. It's not your typical Fast and Furious movie approach of just saying we're a family. We see it on screen through details like this. Just the brief smile on Mr. Snake's face, and you get everything you need to know about how this group see each other. Unfortunately for them, though, they're also deeply sensitive. As this Fox governor, Diane Foxington, another name we'll find out later, giving us a further glimpse into how animals are integrated into this world, and unravels them with this.
I feel sorry for them.
Who is she to judge us?
Which provokes them to go after the elusive golden dolphin. Which, considering the governor mentions it right after having a jab at them, they probably should have been a little bit more suspicious of.
What better way to wipe that smirk off the governor's fuzzy face?
Tropes are gonna trope, I guess. There are a couple of predictable ones here, as we also have the "here's the plan" sequence.
So here's the plan.
As we all know by now, whenever we get a pre-visualization of how the plan's gonna go, it means that is not at all how the plan is going to go.
Is the only one who has clearance to open the second door.
And yes, you can bet that the two species-adjacent characters are gonna be having some tension going on. We're gonna be putting up less romantic obstacles than Zootropolis for this one.
Oliver Poodleton.
Okay.
And to be fair, the following of the trope here leads us to the deconstruction of the trope.
Crude disguises, compulsive showboating, all the classic signs of a crew in decline.
Even as they get what they want practically, Foxington still leaves with a victory of her own here. As the heist continues, it's good that they play into the ridiculousness that no one can see through these guys' disguises.
A drink for the pretty lady?
No, thank you.
Particularly as the only non-criminal animal we see here is the governing fox. And hey, what do you know? I guess I find heist movies a lot more entertaining when it's a bunch of animals doing the heist. They even managed to make the tired hacker character seem exciting and original, which takes some doing. It's reviving an old trope in that way. Even the "she must be good if she's using multiple monitors" trope works here. It's like everything that you'd usually roll your eyes at normally has this fresh flair and take that makes it interesting again. And then we get the next spur of character arc with this moment.
You're such a good boy.
No one really cares that the wolf did a domesticated dog thing, but hey, you know, it's something everyone's familiar with. Even kids will know exactly what's occurred for this guy without him even saying a word, so it's a well done communication. Anyway, back to the madcap stuff.
Surprise!
Just want to appreciate how they've anthropomorphized a shark and a piranha walking on hind legs that they don't even have, and you never really question it. When you successfully set up the reality of your world, as strange as that world may be, people buy into it and don't worry about those kind of questions. And again, I just love these environments that have a semi-realism to them against these heavy stylized characters. It's a really nice blend and contrast.
Our biggest test when a meteorite crashed.
What? What a crazy reveal for the lore of this world. And it does suddenly make this world seem richer and more interesting. Also, I'm pretty sure there shouldn't be any city left, to be honest, based on the impact they show, but, you know, there is a walking piranha who can breathe. You gotta suspend your disbelief somewhere, I guess. Anyway, back to the bad guys. Inevitably, we've gotta now do the Mission Impossible trope with Mr. Snake being the rope.
This is going surprisingly smooth.
You'll never guess why they threw that line in.
This was not supposed to happen. What?
Who'd have thunk it? And it's time for those 8 legs we've already said's a good fit for a hacker character to do their thing. Also, something they keep pushing in this is that Piranha has a farting issue for some reason. Is that a thing? Do piranhas fart? It's not my humor. It's a kid's movie. It's usually played for cheap laughs. Depending on the many deliveries and executions of this bit, I'll either roll my eyes or I'm like neutral on it.
This award is for...
And as we cut between all the moving parts, it does genuinely get tense. Like all good heist movies, you have that moment of anticipation where it's all about to go wrong. And you know there's one version of this where Foxington had set this up as a trap, but alas, no. Because turns out that's what happens when you provoke the city's most notorious criminals and then leave a really important item unattended. Nice work, Governor. The bad guys are literally just walking out the front door as well, when security should surely be on high alert at this point. I'm feeling like the residents of this city are just really stupid, and you're like, I'd steal from them too out of principle. But alas, the new guinea pig character has something to say to further churn the character arc.
The wag in my tiny tail.
Wait a minute, who's the guy voicing the guinea pig?
Being good just feels so good.
Oh, I know where this is going. Anyway, ignoring the foreshadowing, this line then causes said wagging for Mr. Wolf, which leads to them all getting arrested.
It's the end of the bad guys.
It seemed inevitable this beat was coming, though not in the way you'd first think. It's nice. I did initially think this whole thing was just one big setup for them. But hey, we got there through a beat in the emotional arc, putting a spanner in the works, which is some pretty smooth storytelling as it is. Which also informs what he does next in this situation.
Sadly, we were never given a chance to be anything more.
Which seems to work, to a degree that I hope isn't how a justice system actually works. Though hey, at this point, it seems preferable.
But how can we say they're hopeless if they've never been given a chance? If I can prove to everyone that the bad guys have changed, set them free
And yeah, that actually works. And I'm sure all the criminals locked up for less intensive crimes felt great about that situation.
we'll turn the bad guys into the good guys.
It's like when the worst kids in class get all the praise and attention for being less awful than usual. Not that I'm still upset about that or anything.
What are you doing?
The bad guys become the good guys so we can stay in the bad guys.
Of course, despite his impending character journey, Wolf isn't at least intending to actually become good. But the plan, as usual, is just manipulating the incredibly gullible guy who runs this city. However, we do start to see the cracks in the professor's goody-good persona here, with dialogue gems like this.
They say experience is the best teacher, and they are wrong. I am.
That's such a great line. Oh, and he's British. And it kind of stands out. Like, hearing such Americanized dialogue in Richard Ayoade's distinctively British voice does sound a little off.
A giant butt!
It's not a butt.
It's probably because I am British, but yeah, it just sounds a bit strange to me, as it does in a lot of American movies with British characters. And I get why it's kind of like a trope for the British guy to be evil. It's kind of one of the safest accents to make fun of in a way that's not going to be outdated in the future.
Not a butt.
But even still, sometimes it feels like a spoiler. Anyway, this transatlantic speaking guinea pig has his work cut out for him.
Nope! I'll teach you to share!
There's just some great gags throughout this movie, I gotta say, and references.
Here's a kindly frail grandma.
I know it's just a general fairy tale gag, but can we tie that in as a Shrek reference too? Weird to think this is the same studio, but I kinda like that. It's the one thing you can't say about Pixar, as you can generally always tell it's their movie. I like that DreamWorks stylistically changes things up so dramatically. Also, I guess cats are not anthropomorphized in this universe. At the very least, I'd imagine we're going by the same rules as how Goofy and Pluto can coexist. I know the jury is still out on what animal Goofy's even meant to be, but yeah. Anyway, here's where the professor's methods depart from being strictly conventional, getting the bad guys to heist an animal testing lab.
But this is a heist for good.
I mean, yeah, it's a good thing, but it's a sign that this guy's happy to bend a few rules. And of course, Mr. Snake is very happy about the target clientele, as established at the start of the movie. I mean, it's cartoon rules where eating them can be reversed, so it all proves okay for them, but this is still funny.
We're supposed to save them, not eat them?
Hey there! There you can make it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already for more amazing animated movies. You can generally tell it's going to be a good one if it's an all-animal cast, mostly. And it's the closest thing to Star Fox we do have right now, so... completely different studio, completely different animals, not in space. It's close enough. Anyway, thank you for sticking along, and now to the second half of this video.
Well, I'd say they've gone to a better place.
Again, I like that their animal qualities in this movie inform their physicality and behavior. It's not just a Disney's Robin Hood where they may as well be human characters beyond the aesthetics. Sorry. I do like that movie, I'm just pointing out that Robin Hood's just a dude with a fox's face on. And that one snake just went through a lot of effort to cross his arms when, you know, he's just trying to be a human.
It's not what it looks like.
Anyway, the governor arrives soon enough to shut the party down.
I gave you an opportunity.
Leading to this scene that really drives home Mr. Wolf as a character.
I'm the villain of every story, guilty until proven innocent.
We've known that he views himself from the bad guy in every story angle, but here it's laid out plainly. But equally Foxington, still a ridiculous name and I love that, she takes a different one.
Don't do it for them. Do it for you.
And yes, the vibes are absolutely popping off between the two of them.
Believe it or not, I'm rooting for you, Wolf.
You know animated foxes and their interspecies tendencies in movies. And Mr. Fox finds himself carrying on down the good guy arc, heading back to the cat from earlier.
I think we got off to a bad start. The name's Wolf.
Which felt like it was going to be a quick one-off gag, but now returning as a device for character progression really works out. It's a scene that could easily get overlooked, but I think it's also a scene that does a lot towards character. The main beat for me being how, when Wolf catches the cat falling, he then puts it back in its spot in the tree, rather than immediately taking it back down.
Just give me a chance.
The scene is not about rescuing the cat, the scene is about making the cat feel safe. Even that small moment of the cat jumping to him has a huge impact. It's a really strong scene that I particularly enjoy, which I guess is why the professor films it, and throws in the intergroup conflict for good measure.
It's just a shame that you have to carry all that baggage.
A little message that of course Mr. Snake overhears.
What do you mean?
You have great potential, Wolf.
It's something textbook for the best friend character to overhear. Though I love Mr. Snake's suspicious face, whilst he's still wearing the damn onesie. What I do like though is how he asks Wolf about it immediately, rather than this being some secret for the next half of the movie.
It is all part of the plan, isn't it?
Though we do have the promises you can't keep beat still.
You have my word.
As well as yet another here's the plan sequence that will inevitably shape up differently.
We'll have exactly 4 seconds to make our move. The old switcheroo.
It's gala time, where presumably everything goes to pot.
The good guys!
Like screaming, but not terrifying.
we have the juxtaposition of Wolf wanting to prioritize the good guy's image, whilst the others are straight after the golden dolphin. Pretty sure we have like 3 pubs called that in the UK. The thing I'm still really digging about this movie is the sneaky moves the bad guys make whilst in their roles.
Subtle, invisible.
Initially sneaky anyway, as he soon finds himself stuck in the case and posing as a cocktail glass. But even then, I like that it's not something that's inherently out of the bad guys being incompetent, and there's very few moments where they make stupid mistakes in their heists. You can't have the most notorious criminals ever being incompetent, even when the rest of the city clearly is. You sometimes get these characters who are supposed to be good at what they do, but you predominantly see them making a complete dog's dinner of it, so I'm glad that they don't do that in this movie. What does happen, though, is making the most out of Anthony Ramos' singing voice.
Don't you judge so fast.
For those of you who don't know, Anthony's breakout role was in the 2021 movie of Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights. And less than a year later, he found himself voicing a farting piranha, so I guess dreams really do come true. I think it's fair to say we need more movies using those pipes of his. Also, I'll take this over a number from Illumination's Sing any day. Meanwhile, the vibes from earlier are doing their thing,
Hoping you were gonna ask me to dance?
leading to a genuinely fun dance sequence which gets mixed results when it comes to animation. I think the thing is here is that the dancing itself has a sincerity to it, rather than the let's dance at the end of the movie scene where they're relying on the main character doing hyperactively unrealistic dance moves funnily. You know, most Despicable Me movies. But here, the dancing's not played for the comedy, it's just 2 characters connecting. And Anthony Ramos' vocals in tow, it's a great song number that stylistically fits perfectly into the swaggering crime movies that this movie's evoking.
I think I like the new year.
That makes 2 of us.
It also feels refreshing to have a romantic plot that's not shying away from what it is. There's fun tension throughout with these two, whereas usually the animated family movie playbook is typically less forward about it and they just sort of get together at the end. There's so many moving cogs to enjoy here. Even the gag of the kid collecting money who's having gold bars dropped into the collection at the gala's vibes pick up. Just silly little gags like that tickle my humor nerve. But beyond that, you have the bad guys still pushing through with the heist, whilst also enjoying the positive attention, whilst Mr. Wolf's making a connection with Foxington and secretly doesn't want to do the heist anymore.
It belongs to you.
As a whole scene, it just has such great energy, whilst also these storytelling pieces are all revolving within it.
The one and only Professor.
But this isn't your ordinary plan doesn't pan out moment. This completely overdone trope of the pre-visualized plan going wrong is done in a completely different way on the storytelling front.
Professor Marmalade.
Because we have the guy who came up with it, giving it up on the spot in a change of heart.
That's not the plan. What is happening?
Character development is the thing that throws the heist off. Not some miscalculation, some unexpected obstacle. It's Mr. Wolf's emotional arc that has thrown a spanner in the works for the others. And the best thing is that they've told this story in such a way that you completely understand it from Mr. Wolf's perspective.
The meteorite is gone.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Can't possibly think, yeah, we did this.
That's right, the bad guys have been set up. And oh, I wonder who did it, but we will get there. This was a bit on the nose, mind you.
And all stereotypes have been affirmed.
Whoa, even Zootropolis didn't go that direct. But yes, it's time for the twist that probably we've all worked out, but it's still a good one nonetheless. Objection! He's British!
You're such a
Good boy.
Yeah, it's the damn guinea pig, Richard Ayoade.
It was all you.
Of course, it's the guinea pig posing as the best person ever. Love the reveal, but we do then fall into him just blurting out the whole plan. Sure, they're the legendary criminals, no one will believe them, but still feels a little basic.
So you finally get it.
As he plans to use the energy from the meteorite to pull off the ultimate heist. It's a heist movie, everyone's obsessed with heisting.
The big bad wolf got outsmarted by little piggy.
And just to finish it off, we get the public shaming part as well.
Pouchy cheeks.
Big bad wolf is attacking me.
The low point is complete. But I'm glad that they don't have Foxington sheep along with the rest of the narrative, and she has some agency of her own to sniff out what's going on from here.
I'm giving it all back.
And so we head to the bad guys' equivalent of the sea prison from the Avengers movies. And I love the framing of them having the argument out as they're going through the classic prison motions. Once again, doing something different with a scene that we've seen a million times before. All of this is just a refreshing take on old classic tropes, the heist genre. At every point, the direction and cinematography does a kickflip.
I just tried to steal an old lady's purse.
I was trying to find us a better life.
It's creative and more engaging whilst keeping the story in motion, even in the traditionally more stagnant prison portions of the movie. With character conflict very much worth its time, by the way.
A place where some people are scary and some people are scared.
Even with this moment that's had its writing on the wall for a while, where the bad guys have a fallout, it's raising ideas and perspectives worth the screen time. It's not just a classic, you've betrayed us moment. Sorry, I was doing a Richard Ayoade impression, apparently. What I'm saying is there's more going on here. And then it's time for the fan favorite moment that I full-on did a full scene breakdown. It was so good. The scene that changes DreamWorks' amazing bad guys. It's time for the Crimson Paw. More than just the costume, it's the animated fight choreography going on here as well. It's creative, fast-paced, and exciting to watch. An action sequence where you could really just feel the punches hit. It is glorious in all sorts of ways, and a reminder that the source material is a graphic novel after all. I feel she didn't even need to reveal her face in front of all those prison guards. Still, if you want me to talk about this scene for longer, I've got a dedicated video on it.
Wait a sec, you're the Crimson Paw?
What? A criminal in a governmental position of power? That never happens. Regardless, just the whole idea of this character is so cool. She even makes me fully on board with this happening without any explanation. I completely buy that just happening somehow. That is how much of an aura this character is packing. But now it's time to unpack some of that unresolved conflict as the other bad guys start to walk away.
Webs?
Sorry, Wolfie.
We've reached the fallout. Again, rule of team movie dictates one of these was inevitable, but even then, it feels more earned here than in other movies. All led by Snake, the established best friend of the joint.
I'm just a scary monster, but nothing compares to having the one guy I thought I could trust stab me in the back.
Both in writing and voice performance, this fallout cuts deeper than others that we sometimes see. Anyway, time for the evil guinea pig and his space potato.
This is what a true bad guy looks like.
We've had all shades of bad guys archetypes in this movie by now. The criminal gang bad guys, the masked bad guys with Crimson Paw, and now the all-out Bond villain with his guinea pig, Richard Ayoade. Oh yeah, about those guinea pigs from earlier. Yeah, apparently he's used the asteroid to hypnotize all those guinea pigs. You are watching 2020's The Bad Guys. 1 minute, just animal criminals stealing stuff. Next thing, army of guinea pigs. But they did mention guinea pigs in the opening few minutes, so I guess there's setup there. But before we can get to the big action climax, we've got some more character work to do.
I was the best thief in the world. All I saw in the end was the tricky fox that they always told me I was.
Yeah, so we've got a pretty similar message to Zootropolis happening here. It is slightly different though, so we'll go with it. Anyway, turns out she's also got a big secret base.
Holy moly!
She's essentially a thief version of Batman, right down to the detective part.
Steal the money, raised in his own name?
It's the greatest heist the world's ever seen.
And there we have it. Does kind of feel like he could do a lot more with every guinea pig in the area under his control, but sure. Big guinea pig heist. All the while, clearly these two also work together incredibly well.
We have to steal the meteorite.
That was very cute.
Got the full finishing each other's sandwiches package going on there. Look at that. You can do a lot more with shipping an animal couple when there's less interspecies red tape in the way. And despite them being animated animals, their suit-up sequence is unironically as cool as anything you'd find in a superhero movie.
Let's do this.
Meanwhile, the others have one final step to learn the hard way.
Wolf gave away all our loot.
And even here, the tropes turn on its head, as typically we have the main character in the wrong when they let their team down. Not here, it's the team that needs to be caught up to the speed of the emotional arc here. Bringing Snake back round to the refrigerator photos that made him smile at the start, followed by a small gesture.
Okay, here, take it. Now stop crying.
It's on the more comical B character side of an arc, but it still works in helping them realize what Wolf was getting at. It's such a different fallout come back together arc, as there's no big misunderstanding, you know? The trope that we're all the most tired of. And with it being a kids film and a lot of people's first films in theory, it's easy to see why these kind of animated movies do rely on just repeating the same tired old tropes. So it's so nice when a movie like DreamWorks and their in-house animation team at The Bad Guys try to do something new and original for people that are seeing possibly films for some of the first time. It's an appreciated, unfortunately optional part of the craft. Here, it's a change of philosophy and mindset that's the point of contention between these characters, making for a much more interesting resolution than the kind that we'd normally get out of it.
Maybe we could be more than just scary villains.
And even then, as you think they're about to overcome this arc, they know that's far too straightforward for Snake's established character.
We'll be bad guys.
They're gonna make this too easy. Meanwhile, just to clear how bad this guinea pig is, they show in no uncertain terms here him robbing money otherwise destined for the children's hospital. This is a climax that has everything going for it. Scale, comedy, the heist of a villain base.
Betrayal, a meteor, mind control.
Oh yeah, so that's what Snake does next. Yet another turn in the tale that you're not expecting, followed by yet another that we'll get to. It's a genuine shock of a reveal, and this movie does well to pull it off.
Go bad
Or go home.
And of course, there's the contrast there, with him talking about how good guinea pigs taste at the start and all. And as the blades come out on them, I really hope Snake didn't know they were about to be unalived. But not to fear.
Now it's time to huff and puff and blow this little piggy's eyes down.
And just a minute or so after the Mr. Snake reveal, the guy gets it spat right back in his face.
Don't mind us, just robbing this place.
We're into the big final chase now, as there's still some guinea pig operated trucks to deal with. Which, really cool character established, goes down exactly as you'd expect.
Every day getting harder to find.
Yep, they make intercepting guinea pigs with tiny trackers one of the most entertaining animated action sequences of the decade. As far as I'm concerned, anyway, and I'm not even kidding about that. I adore this movie and think it's a real top tier within this decade. It's a proper adrenaline pumper of a sequence. It is just so good. And look who's missing out on all of the action.
Anticipate their next move.
Oh, so it's my fault?
Though that's by design, as we'll get to. But of course, as it looks like everything's all about to go to plan and they're gonna be celebrated for returning the meteorite, we have some pre-established character relationships and themes to get in the way of that one.
We can't do this without him.
Again, not what you'd expect from this story. It doesn't go the conventional way. Again, they go to get their friend who never felt celebrated. Not that it all goes that easily. The guinea pig horde is such a chaotic threat. I love it. The fact that it starts acting like a sandworm from Doom as well, it's just so wacky. You can't not enjoy it.
Besides, you'll never get him. He's too good a driver.
And so the emotional and story climax comes to a head with Snake being thrown off the edge of the helicopter.
Is yours.
It's funny how a scene blocked around a swarm of guinea pigs can suddenly turn serious in tone. In a jump that thankfully doesn't have them make the other side. Not in the car, at least.
Love you too, buddy.
Well, that's the emotional arc done. Very satisfyingly, may I add. Now it's time to make sure they don't die.
Who said it was the end?
And in one more unexpected juxtaposition, they then go on to turn themselves in. Okay.
Wait, really?
Though we still have a certain guinea pig to deal with.
I have generously decided to take the meteorite back to my compound for safekeeping.
And now it's time for that other twist with Snake. We said it was coming.
It's a lamp!
What?
Everything from Snake's arc all the way to when we saw the meteorite lamp in the first place, the final piece in this puzzle has been immaculately set up.
The old switcheroo.
Though some of you can spot it coming, especially the moment they first say the old switcheroo. That's kind of a guarantee. You have to give it to the writing for this movie that there's so many solid twists and turns throughout. From the Crimson Paw to Snake's plan, it's all so well thought out.
That was pretty good there, Snakey.
And we end off with them going to prison as the happy ending?
One push pop in the fridge.
No.
That is the ending of the movie. They managed to make them accepting the consequences of their actions and heading to jail as a positive note at the end of the movie.
3 wishes.
Why 3?
You know, industry standard.
For a year, anyway. We get to see them a year later. Somehow, everything they've done up to this point, only worth a year in jail time.
Webbs?
Hit it.
Incredible. And that was DreamWorks' amazing The Bad Guys. The movie that really sold me on DreamWorks rediscovering its swagger after a rocky 2010s, to say the least. It is by no means perfect, but I am just such a huge fan of this movie, and still see DreamWorks so highly because of the heights of this one. Forget Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, this is where they started getting good. Made with such love, adoration, and creative flourish from an in-house studio was so immaculate to see, which made me all the more gutted when I found out that nowadays all of it is outsourced and chucked together. Doesn't necessarily change the quality of their movies, but it does feel like a shame that the team behind this movie ultimately lost their jobs from the continued mismanagement of the business side of DreamWorks, and somehow still not as destructive as when Universal gutted out their studio years earlier. Now we got the likes of Shrek 5 and apparently Shrek 6 to look forward to instead. And yet, remarkably, the sequel managed to meet its level as well, to a decent degree, and I'm pretty sure there's more on the way. There are many, many books. It's a good formula, to be fair. And as long as they keep up the stylization and original storytelling that the books are already doing, I can't exactly say this is anywhere close to the surprisingly large pile of terrible DreamWorks movies. So that's always a plus. But on that note, though, I shall finally end it off there. My name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this amazing episode. Do tell us your thoughts on all things Bad Guys 1. Are there a million details in the background that I didn't mention today? Surely there are with a style like this, right? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and more, but otherwise, I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio!